Nice shirt, man. Fuel for life. I wore that the other day.
Probably not this one. Probably your own.
What size is that?
XL?
It may have been that one. I wear an XL in that design. Snuck in your closet. And,
I took it off my hanger this morning.
Yeah, I put it back without you noticing.
Good. That's why it stinks.
Yeah, I was thinking, because I just got done working out and I'm still wearing my workout shirt. Little, what is this?
Not a big deal when you work for yourself.
White Oak Pastures. I know we have a shower now. I'm not even taking advantage
That's
of
true.
it.
Yep.
So I want to stink for my employees. But it's all good.
We're used to it.
We're used
It smells
to
like keto brick in here. I mean,
That's
let's
true.
be honest. It smells like we're working in a chocolate factory.
That's true.
Like Willy
That's
Wonka.
true. It's pretty cool. I had had a client who I haven't met in person yet. She came in on Sunday because she was dropping off her grandson in Little Rock, and they were driving back home and had to go through Fayetteville. I'm like, well, shoot, I'm just outside of Fayetteville. You got to swing by. So her and her husband came by. She signed the wall. I gave him
cool.
a tour of everything.
Heck yeah.
We talked to him about nutrition and training for probably about an hour or so. But it was cool because like her husband is like, man, kind of unassuming looking building on the outside. And then you walk in, you got the podcast, the gym, the commercial kitchen, all this stuff. Pretty cool. So gave him a bunch of bricks. Yep. Gave him a bunch of bricks at the compound. That to me is what it's all about. Like I like working with clients remotely because I can interact with people all over the world. But when I get to meet them in person and like they can actually put a face to a name and it just becomes more tangible.
That's exactly how I met you. Remember, I tracked you down in Omaha.
Mm-hmm.
That was first. You'd been coaching me for a while remotely.
Yeah.
And we've talked and chatted and stuff.
I'm pretty sure the first time we met, when you walked up to me, it's like I didn't even recognize you.
Yeah, because you said that. You're like, holy cow, man, I barely recognized you because my face was so lean.
Yeah, yeah.
I was in prep.
And I didn't know you were coming to that show, so like didn't have that context in the back of my mind of like, okay, I'm expecting to meet Greg. You just like popped out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Just drove down.
What year was that?
That was 20. It wasn't called Hard to Kill. It was called Keto Summit Omaha.
Omaha, yeah.
That was the first year I went to it.
2019?
I forget. I don't remember.
I think it may have been 2019.
Might have been. My first actual... No, because I was in prep in 21.
Maybe 2020 then?
Might have been 2020.
So you and I've got a 5-year anniversary coming up. You still wearing your ring?
No.
No? You got me tattooed on your leg, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Stands for something.
Yeah, that probably won't come off too easy.
Yeah. Well, you just got back from a competition, man. You spent the weekend in Wisconsin at the...
Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Yes. Give me the details, man. So you left here Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Give me the play-by-play from the moment I last saw you on Wednesday to today.
Was it Wednesday night or Tuesday night?
I think you left Wednesday night.
I forget.
And you drove halfway.
I drove halfway because it's like 11, 12 hour straight through drive. It's 800 miles or whatever. So well, first off, the reason I wanted to do this show is I'm friends with the promoters. They're absolutely amazing people.
Was one of them the guy that kept tagging me in Keto Brick? Coach,
no.
That was your buddy, right? Coach.
Oh, Gary.
What's his Instagram?
Coach Gary, Coach Boris. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he was with me. He's my best buddy from Minnesota. So he came over to the competition just to be there and stayed in the room with me and everything. But I know the promoters. I've known them for several years. They're absolutely amazing people. They're gym owners right there in Eau Claire. She is a world-renowned competitor, natural athlete. She actually flew to Japan and competed on behalf of the United States. So she's done some remarkable things as a natural athlete. She has smoked a ton of non-natural athletes. So she is very highly regarded. Anyways, they have a show that they have been running for several years called the Wisconsin Warrior. It's a USBF federated show. It's natural. That's in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And since I lived in northern Minnesota for so many years, I actually had the opportunity to volunteer backstage at their show, expediting athletes, helping set up, tear down, registration, all the things kind of for the whole entire weekend, several years in a row. And I always said, wow, this is a really super well-run show. The venue is top-notch. It's a performing arts theater, much like ours is going to be. So the audio is dialed in, like the sound system is insane. The lighting is top-notch. The seating, the stage, all the backstage amenities, everything is just exactly how you'd want it to be as an athlete. And being backstage helping, I was like, okay, if I ever have the opportunity to put my feet on this stage as a competitor, I want to be able to do it. So it just so happened that your competition in September was going to have me in prep for that. What if we started my prep a little bit earlier and just kind of weaseled this one into my calendar? So this one is still, 12 weeks out from yours. So we decided we would dial me in to some extent, not like full blown dialed in, because we wanted to save that for in 11 weeks. So that's how I ended up there. It's very well run orchestration. The event is, all the fine details are perfect. It ran perfectly without a hitch. I'm sure there were some little hiccups along the way that none of us as competitors saw, but they were on time. The tanning was perfect. They were even ahead of schedule. Everything that could go right went right. Like,
awesome.
It was awesome. So I competed as a classic physique masters 40 plus.
You're the only one in that one.
I was the only one registered for that one, but I thought, you know what? I'm 40 plus. Why not do it? I'm already going to be on stage for another class. So I did the 40 plus. I was the only registrant, so I obviously swept that one. And then I did the open class, and the open class had 17, I think it was 17 or 18, whatever, registered competitors, and they ended up splitting that one into an A and a B. I went out with half the guys, 8 of the guys, and I took home 4th place in that one.
Nice.
I could tell that, and it may have been because I hit the stage a little bit later than I ever have in the past. It was like 2:30-ish.
It's pretty late.
Yeah, it's pretty late. So I had my refeed meal pretty much right before bed the night before, which is 9:30. Got up in the morning, did kind of the morning protocol, but I was not consuming a lot of water. And I think that may be something that we need to talk about and tweak, because on stage it was hard for me to keep my legs going, like just keeping them flexed. And we've done a lot of posing practice here. We've done timed holds. We've done all the quarter turns and comparison rounds. But when you're on stage against 7 other dudes that are pretty freaking dialed in,
with the stage lights hitting you.
Stage lights,
excitement,
and the judging panel was 9 judges. It's one of the biggest around, and they hold you out there, and they juggle the athletes or the competitors around. You know, like, we want 2 of you guys to swap places. We want to see you against you, and you know, maybe the judge on the end of the table can't quite get a good view, so they're going to move you down over there. You know how it goes. And another round of quarter turns, another round of quarter turns, another round of quarter turns. And my legs were starting to shake. Like, I just could not keep them contracted. And I bumped into several people at the after party get together. And they're like, man, you look really good. It looked like you were having a hard time keeping your legs involved, keeping your legs, down.
Were they actually quivering?
They were quivering.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, I could feel them and see them shaking.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, we either need to work on longer holds, or maybe we needed a little bit more hydration, a little bit more electrolyte intake. But other than that, I felt super good. I didn't have any cramping. I was just having a hard time keeping them contracted.
Yeah.
And that could have been just water, electrolytes, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So anyways, the event itself was absolutely phenomenal. It was incredibly fun. I opted for the upgraded photo package. So the day before the competition, Friday morning, I got to do a full-blown photo shoot. And we picked several locations in town, right downtown Eau Claire. We went to their host gym that they own. The promoters own a gym. We got some awesome photography done there. We went outside. We did a whole bunch kind of outside the venue, because the venue and the host gym are literally 1 block away. And then the host hotel is 1 block the other direction. And then the after party was 1 block across the street. So you could walk everywhere. You leave your car parked. It's a super nice setup. We got a whole bunch of photography. We did some like street shots in the alley. Part of what I did for the photo shoot and for my routine was I brought my mullet wig that you guys have seen. And
I think you could totally pull it off, man.
Yeah, I know it matches super good with the mustache.
Yeah.
I know everyone's like, "Is that real? Is that real?" No, like there was a ton of people walking around downtown Eau Claire, because it's kind of like a little touristy. It's a nice little downtown area, and there's people like looking and stopping. I'm like, "No, it's not real." And I'm like, "Oh, okay," because I could tell they were like, trying to figure it out. So I did a whole bunch of fun photos with that get up. Even brought a Keto Brick.
Nice.
We got some pretty sweet Keto Brick branded content.
With you in the mullet?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, it's like American flag.
That'll be our new ad.
Yep, it's going to be made in America kind of thing. Kind of like that's the theme. And then when I went on stage, we did the comparison rounds, and as soon as we were done with that, I went back and I threw some striped shorts on, and the mullet and some shades, and I came out and did my posing routine in that outfit. and it was pretty funny. It was really cool. A lot of people backstage were like, "Man, that's hilarious." Da, 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 da. You know, like, why doesn't anybody else like dress up or add any fun flair or accessories?
Yeah, you
or
gotta have fun with it, man. You gotta have some props.
So that was like the gist of the whole weekend was I got to be on stage, kind of got my feet wet. I haven't been on stage since last prep. Did some posing, did some competitiveness, but really just had a really good time with a lot of people. And I think anybody who does their first show, the nerves are crazy. Like, you're anxious. I could tell there was a whole bunch of brand new competitors backstage. They didn't know. You could just tell they just weren't comfortable in this scenario. They didn't know what to do with like pumping up. They didn't know what to do with like where to put their button or how to put their button on. They were just dripping sweat. Like, their tan was terrible. And I remember being that guy backstage, like watching all the seasoned competitors, and they're just like sitting over in the corner. You know, they got their earbuds in, or they're laying on their back and they have their feet elevated, and they're like chill as can be. Then you have the other ones that are the newbies, and they're, you know, they keep looking in the mirror. They keep trying their poses. They're like trying to remember what they're going to do. And so I was trying to kind of offer that fun, don't stress about it kind of vibe to all those guys. And I think it rubbed off a lot because they were just, you know, like less stressed. They were just less anxious and worked up over it. So
that's cool, man. It's cool when like you've reached the upper echelon to the point where you are the seasoned competitor and you could just impart some words of wisdom to the people new in the sport. Because my first show too, man, I remember being like super anxious, super nervous, like almost talking myself off of competing.
Yes, you're
like
almost
the day before.
Yeah, you're almost to the point where you're just like, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, and then like this last prep I did, I mean, I think Chip's got footage of me like falling asleep in the pump up room, just like totally chill. I was reading a Indian book, you know, like a Native American history book. One go around, it's like I'm just chill, cool as a cucumber, and like that's what you want it to be. Because if you're super stressed, like you're gonna work up yourself, you're gonna have all this anxiety. It's gonna dump all that adrenaline, and you're not gonna be able to hold that contraction. You're gonna start, you know, shaking. Your tan's gonna start rubbing. It's just not a good look, and like the judges can tell, you know.
Oh yeah, they could tell. And I remember even one of my first shows. I had a routine that I was going to do. I think it was like a T walk or L walk or J walk, whatever. It was men's physique. And I got out there in front of all the lighting and I heard people like hollering, and, you know, the judging table was there and everything. And I just completely forgot everything that I had practiced. And this past weekend, it was just like, once the music started, it was just like turning a switch on, and it was fun.
Do you feel pretty good about, like, apart from your legs shaking a little bit, like your execution of the poses and your routine?
I do.
Feel pretty good about it? Nice.
And that's probably the heaviest I've ever been on stage. I was 190, 191 on stage. My in-body had me at like between 6 and 7. I know in-body is not 100% accurate, but that's the lowest I've been all prep. I know I've got some size in my legs since last prep, so I know that there's some mass and weight there beneath the trunk. And I felt really good. I don't think there was anything that I felt needed to be changed except just being able to keep the legs rocking.
And then your after party meal, unlike everybody else where they're slamming pizzas, you're eating chicken wings. And
I did have some pizza toppings.
Toppings.
Scraped the toppings off.
Smash burgers.
Had an awesome smash burger with some Brussels. And that's all we needed. Gary, my best buddy, he had some ice cream. I don't know if that was yesterday or that same day or the day after, but and then we're both back on track. Like both the next morning we went for a couple hour walk. No, he's I'm trying to get him. He would rock the show really well if he ever decided he was going to compete. So I keep planting the seed, and I got to bring him backstage, showed him all the ins and outs of the tanning, the backstage competitor area, the pump up area, like the tanning touch ups. One of the cool things about this show also is they've got all the athletes backstage in one big open conference room, and they have the competition live streamed up onto the screen. So you can watch the entire thing from backstage. There's a whole bunch of athletes laying down. We even saw some bikini competitors that brought their own air mattress.
Nice. That's next
like
level
that's
right
like
there.
top tier. So there's like people just like hanging out watching up on the big projection screen, and then they know where they're at in the running format. But yeah, I got to bring him backstage. He saw all that. He's like, wow, this is super cool, because he's been to shows before, but he's never been able to see, you know, behind the curtain.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to go back behind the actual stage, walked out onto the stage, so you can see like all the stage lighting, and it's really neat. Like once you do your first show, all those things are no longer anxiety producing.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, okay, this is how it works. This is where you go.
This is why I always recommend people that are competing for the first time do more than one show in the same season. Like have them close together, ideally, so you're not like, you know, prolonging your prep any more than necessary. But if you can like have one show to get all those nerves out,
Yep.
you're going to look way better the second show.
Absolutely. You're going to be so much less nervous.
Yeah.
And if you can do that during your same prep, instead of waiting until the next prep, the first one is, everyone has to overcome the first one.
Yeah.
Like there's no
Plus,
way around it.
If you do it during the same prep, then you can end that prep on a positive note. Not that your first show wouldn't be positive, because a lot of people, as soon as the show's over, they feel like, oh, I'm ready to do this again. But like, if you do 2 shows, you're pretty much ensuring that, okay, you're going to leave it on a positive note for that season.
Yep.
And then the next time you go into a season, you're more motivated to do it the right way and just have the confidence to do so the right way.
Yep. True.
But yeah, you're making me get the itch again, man.
It's fun.
It is.
It makes all like the feelings of I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm cold, I'm irritable. Once you get there, then you're just like, oh, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like you don't really, I mean, you think about food at all times, but like when you're competing, like you're not really thinking about food. Like you're in the zone. That's all the work that you've put in.
That's the last,
that moment.
Because
you know?
you're not going to do anything that's going to change the outcome that day or even the several days beforehand.
And like that's your freaking battlefront. Like that is your war zone. Like, you know, so
this
like
is what you've been prepping for.
Yeah, like this is what it all goes to.
Yep.
And that is and should be premier focus number 1. You know, so it's cool. And you did a float trip after.
Yeah. Did you see that reel I posted of in the little tanning tent?
Yeah, shaking it up with the sock.
So there's a bunch of guys. There's a bunch of like volunteers, staff members, competitors, all backstage. That because I did that the first day. That they came up to me that I don't know them, and they're like, "Hey man, I saw you shaking your ass in the little tanning tent," and they just thought it was the funniest thing because it was actually showing up on like their social media feeds. We weren't even friends or followers of each other, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I saw that. That's hilarious." So that was pretty
For anybody listening that does not know what we're talking about, when you were getting your tan done, as a guy, you pretty much naked, and they
depending on what class you do. Yeah, if you're doing classic physique or bodybuilding, you're pretty much they don't like to tan you full blown naked. You have to wear one of their little disposable thong coverings
or a sock.
Yeah, and I had a sock on just for the record.
Ankle sock, no show sock.
Yeah, toddler sock. But just for the record, I mean, like. I told Gary, I'm like, you can come in here. He was going to wait out in the hall. I'm like, no, come on in. You can see how the tanning stuff works and everything. And I put the, sock covering on, and they were tanning me and everything. And I was just dancing around, and he took a video of it. So I posted the video, but I put a little censored box over it. So you couldn't really see what was going on back behind the little censored area. I was not naked, just FYI. So
he had a sock
there. Float trip. So one of the cool things that they do is they invite any of the competitors with a +1 if they want to go float down the Chippewa River the next day.
Is it like right out there, easily accessible too from the venue and everything?
Not from the venue. No, we had to drive like 20 minutes from the hotel, and you just pop into this place called Loopy's. It's right there on the river, and we think we had probably 15 or 16 of us or so, and they cover the cost of all the tube rentals and cooler tube rentals. So we had a cooler. We threw like some Zevias in there, some teas, energy drinks. I had some carnivore snacks, just like some snacky type stuff just to work through on the way down the river. And then they throw you all in a bus with a trailer on it. They throw all the tubes in the trailer and they cart you up the river. It really only takes you like 10 minutes by vehicle. And they drop you at a landing, and then it takes you several hours to float back down to this place called Loopy's. Well, 5 minutes into it, we all tether together. So there's 14 or 16 or whatever tubes all roped together in a big circle. So you're all got your feet in the middle, All the cooler tubes are in the middle, and then you can have conversations with everybody because you're all floating down together, tied together. 5 minutes into it, you have to go under a bridge, which is, I think, the road we probably drove in on. And there's a big pylon that's holding the bridge up, but right where it comes out of the water, there's like a concrete pad or something there that had a piece of rebar sticking out of it that had been bent over. Well, typically the current, I suppose, takes your whole group of tubes and sends you around the pylon in one direction. For some reason, our group wanted to go straight to the pylon. So half of our tubes were going around to the right and half of our tubes were going around to the left. So we're trying to kick and paddle and everybody's like pulling. And in the meantime, my friend Gary, of course, his tube goes right over the top of this bent over piece of rebar. And I could see it. Nobody else saw it happen because he was tied right next to me.
Yeah.
And I could see this happen. And everyone's like, oh yeah, just keep paddling, keep paddling. And we were making good headway. We were actually curving the entire group in the right direction. So we were good. But I was keeping an eye on his. We just hear psh, and there's like bubbles shooting out everywhere. And sure enough, his tube is flat as can be, and it's still tied on, but now it's just like an anchor because it's like filling with water. Luckily, they sent us with 2 extra tubes.
Good.
So he had to throw his tube up into the other spare tube, and then grab the other spare tube and hook it on. And it was funny. It was kind of like the laughing stock of the whole thing because 5 minutes in, Gary pops his tube. It's like, we're in a river. How do you pop your tube? So
never a dull moment, man.
Yeah, it was fun.
How long was the float trip?
Yeah, it was probably 3 hours.
Nice.
3 hours or so. Yeah, 3, 4.
See, that's pretty cool. Like, I want to figure out something like that we can do with our show. We can get any of the competitors that are willing to like do something unrelated to the competition to just like have a camaraderie.
It was awesome.
Positive vibe scene, you know?
Yeah, and we all, like, nobody really knew each other outside just that group of floating, besides the promoters, of course. But we got to meet a whole bunch of other competitors. We kind of talked about what their goals are, like if they're going to do any more shows, if they have anything on the docket for next season, just different struggles that they've maybe encountered or how things went for their prep, and people of all ages and all classes. It was really neat because you got to like bond and converse with other competitors.
So are you glad you started your prep so early in order to fit this show in? Like in hindsight, having done it now, it's like, is it worth all that extra dieting?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, because I felt pretty good on stage.
Yeah, you look good on stage. You look good. I'm excited to see you peaked a little bit later into the year, but you look totally, I mean, you belonged on stage for sure.
Yep, so felt good.
I'm excited.
It's fun being on stage.
You posted some of your initial prep photos and your peak week photos the other day on social, and you've come a long way already, man. Like 30 pounds down or something crazy.
30 plus pounds and 10 plus % body fat.
Yeah,
dropped.
Pretty wild.
Yep.
What do you think you're going to do? We'll have to do a whole, after the season's over in its entirety, but like having dieted that much and lost that much already with still another 10 pounds to go, what do you think you're going to do off season this go around? Do you think you'll get as heavy?
No.
You're not going to do that?
I don't want to. No, because at the very tail end of this most recent off season, I was pushing my own nutrition just to test the envelope, to test the waters and push the envelope a little bit. So I had days where I was 4,500 to 5,000 calories just because it was fun to lift super heavy. It was fun to just eat, and I definitely didn't need to gain that much weight.
Yeah.
Like 230 pounds is way too much for my stature and my frame. I was fluffier than I was comfortable.
Yeah.
But I knew that we were going to start prep in January. So I kind of like, I did it on purpose. It was a purposeful thing, just kind of learn my body and see what the outcome was going to be. Something that's trackable. Now I know next off season, I don't need to go that heavy. Don't need to go that high. And I want to kind of keep the lean gains leaner.
Yeah. It's easy to justify, I need to eat like a freaking animal to gain more muscle, but like,
then you got to just peel it all off.
Yeah. And it's not like you gain that much more muscle. Like whether you're eating 3,500 calories or 5,500 calories, like that's a pretty big spread in calories. It's not going to contribute to a significant increase in strength or lean tissue.
Right.
So
if I can hover somewhere around like the 200 to 210 mark, I think I'd be comfortable there.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same mindset, man. Like I'm like 180 right now, and I feel like this is a very healthy off-season weight for me. I think the in-body yesterday made like 14.5, which I think is pretty healthy body fat for the off-season. But I mean, like, yeah, when I was 200, that's probably like your 230. Like it's just not necessary.
Yeah, just fluffy.
Yeah. But you like, I mean, you and I both can eat a lot of food. And I was telling Chip this earlier. It's like, I'm in the full-blown off-season right now, and I could legitimately eat more food. But you hear about all these bodybuilders, like you watch YouTube videos of like the bodybuilders of the early 2000s. They're just like annoyed with how much they're having to eat, but they're also on a bunch of gear. So it's like not even the same sport, you know?
Exactly.
So no need to take it to that extreme. But exciting stuff, man. I'm excited to see
I'm excited for your show. That's going to be here in no time. That's what, 11 weeks?
Yeah, 11 weeks.
10 weeks, 11 weeks?
10 and a half weeks, I guess, roughly. So that'll be good. And I'm going to be taking some notes from this show as to what I want to include in my show. We just got to get some more competitors, man. We got that challenge that's still totally open and in effect. Anybody that signs up for that, part of the tribe, there's $5,000 cash for the male and female winners of that, and it corresponds with the show. So we just need more competitors. You know, the more, the better.
Yep. So. But we got some awesome sponsors. We've got some awesome things in the works for that. We've got a lot of the details coming together. We're just going to do a little push now to get some athletes signed up. But like you said, a lot of people wait.
Yeah. Which is not very
It's
good.
not conducive to us being able to figure out what kind of attendance we're going to have.
Yeah.
But it's understandable from a competitor's point of view to some extent. Like, you're just going to wait and see how their prep is going before they pull the trigger. But I think if you pull the trigger,
you got something
that'll zone you in more.
Yeah.
Instead of being half-ass on the fence.
Exactly.
Like, all right, this is the date. This is what we need to be ready. So
exactly.
So register.
What else we got new and exciting? We just launched Primal Fudge.
Primal Fudge came back.
Yep.
Biggest restock ever.
Yeah, we still got a bunch in inventory.
That's good. That was the goal. We made tons extra.
Tons of these.
Because we were sick of selling out so quickly. I mean, we like to sell out and sell the product, but we were bumming out a lot of people that couldn't get their hands on any.
Yep.
So if you've been dragging your feet on getting some Primal Fudge, you still can.
Yep. We got all those packaged and sent out yesterday, Monday. So that feels good to have knocked out. We got more in inventory, people that want them. We'll be making PB Cup today, actually. So we're going to have more chocolate PB Cup.
So by the time this goes live, PB Cup will be back.
Yep. So yeah, man, we just got a lot of things in the pipeline right now. A lot of things on the horizon. Crystal's dad's coming into town today. So he's going to help out around the house with Hazen and Rigel. And Crystal and I are going to record a podcast on Friday. Lots of stuff on the horizon. Chip and I are going to be doing a whole bunch of new media work. On the course, he and I are going to double down and do all of our appendix videos for all the posing. So anybody that's going to be competing, whether my show or some other show, if you want more information on posing specifically, we're going to have a much more involved course, itinerary or structure there for all the different divisions. So that'll be good. I think that'll be a good resource for people. Because posing's no joke. People that wait to the last minute to pose, they're doing themselves a massive disservice. Because like you and I and Ellen and Ralph, who are competing and here on site, like every single week we've been doing posing on the holds, transitions, hitting all the mandatories, working on your routine when you were doing that. And it's like, you got to give it the time it's due.
Yeah. And I think the announcer, even at this past competition, put it in a good context, is you might not have the best physique, but you might look like you have the best physique.
Yeah.
If you have your posing dialed in, you might slaughter the entire other lineup against people who have a better physique but can't pose.
Yeah. I mean, you could have like a ton of size. And if you got someone that's been doing it for 10 years more than you, you're probably not going to have as much size as them. But like if you can come in more conditioned, and if you can showcase what you have better than they do, the judges are going to reward that, So there's a lot of things. I mean, it's a subjective sport, but there's a lot of things that you have direct control over that you don't want to squander,
And one last little thought on the competition. Somebody, forgot what they said. Somebody messaged me prior to the competition, and she said, "You already won." Like, meaning, look how far you've come. Look at your progress. Look at your transformation, the weight you've lost, all the hard things you've done along the way. You already won. So before you even go on stage, whether your posing is dialed in, you have the best physique, the worst physique, whatever, you probably have already won.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how I went into this weekend, is like, I already won. Like, this is like, I don't care what happens on stage. Look at my before and my after. Like, that's incredible. If I would have done that without a competition involved, that's impressive. So it still is impressive.
100%. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like, you can't dictate what the judges are going to come up with on the scorecard. But if you can know with 100% certainty that you've put in all the work that you possibly can and you've left no stone unturned and you've got no regrets, then
you already won.
Stand up there with confidence and be proud of yourself. Because I mean, that is the key thing. It's a battle against yourself.
And it's like some of the first time competitors, they may not look like, I shouldn't say this, they may not look like they belong on stage. They may not feel like they belong on stage when they compare themselves to everybody else they're standing up there alongside. But if you take a snapshot of them that day and a snapshot of them 6 months ago, they may have had a way more crazy transformation than anybody else up there. So like that's kind of what you have to understand if you're going to be doing some competitions. Like
100%. Yeah. 100%. Well, Greg's going to be a shorter episode today, man. I'm about to jump on a client call.
Oh, yeah.
But we're going to have some exciting things on the horizon for people. So stay tuned, y'all. Greg, proud of you, brother.
Thank you.
I'm excited for the next show. And you and I are going to be putting in some work on the competition next week.
Yes.
So a lot more details coming together.
We're
going to get the trophies all lined up and ready to rock. So that'll be good. But until then, y'all take care.
Ta-ta.